All right, greetings. So, Freedom Phil here. And I want to talk about something when it comes to this whole Epstein thing and the vote. Senate bringing it out. I think the Democrats got played by Trump. I really think they did. And they're like, well, no, he'll be in there. I'll explain. Freedom Phil, like and subscribe. By the way, if you're some kid watching my channel, you have shitty parents. This is channel for adults. Get the fuck out of here. Let's get into it. I look at it like this. The Democrats were going to try to probably, most likely, try to turn the Epstein files into the next, oh, Pissgate, oh, the Steele dossier, oh my God, Russia collusion, And I think Trump let them play that up. He let them run with that. So while Trump and everybody on the Republican side was actually achieving goals on fixing the country, like, I don't know, the border for the first time in my life, they ain't a bunch of people crossing it, They're starting to send people with H-1Bs that ain't supposed to be working in this country the fuck back over. They're having to take care of the problems, the fentanyl issue. Now, I mean, I'm so hip on the idea of Venezuela, potentially. I don't want to see us go to war over there. But in general, Trump's doing a really goddamn good job. So they're like, oh, Epstein. And I think he let them. He was like, yeah, just keep on letting them scream about that. Keep on making them say, we had to vote for it right now. We'd vote to release those files. You said it, Trump. You said it. And actually only said it like once or twice during the whole election. And most of that was Bongino and the other couple people that were really about the Epstein files. So there's all this hype, all this buildup. So the Democrats are like, we're going to use that against him. If he doesn't release it, it'll make him look like he's incriminating. And I'll be honest, if Trump vetoes this situation, I think that will literally sink the midterms. But if it all comes out, and people say, well, he might be in it. If he was in it, and you had 4 years of, by the way, I gotta give Trump credit for this, where it shows all the photos in the it goes different presidents, and then it shows Trump, and then an auto pen, and then Trump again. It's like, God, that's funny. Biden was merely just an auto pen. Like, we don't even know who was running the country because we don't know. You had 4 years to release all this information, and to do better than that, to fabricate information. And you guys are really trying to take that man down. If they had that information, they would have done it during the last election. They don't have shit. They know they don't have shit. So, I mean, at this point, everybody's going to be pretty suspicious if they magically go, oh, we found these new files. But I think Trump literally played the Democrats. Just simply played them. In the same way, and let me give you a story from way back in the day when it came to the Democrats and where they screwed up tactically. You guys remember gay marriage? Great, I'm glad gay people can get married. I've always been wanting to see gay divorce court where two flamers are fighting over who gets the dog. No, Alfonso, I get Fritz. Like, no, you can't have him. Oh, God, that'd be fucking great. Gay divorce court. But it was such a political football. And for a lot of you that don't remember, a lot of you too young to really remember how it was, because I was born in 1980. So I remember how, the religious right. And I remember when Democrats are like, I believe it's between a man and a woman. And then they started changing their tune. And honestly, to some degree, as the culture changes, the politicians should kind of grow with the country, adjust with the country. But I remember when the Democrats are like, oh, we're pro-gay marriage, we're pro-gay marriage. They were against gay marriage. Man and a woman, until it was like, okay, we got the numbers. And then they made gay marriage, Barack Obama. You know what happened at that very moment? What happened at that very fucking moment? Gay marriage is now a topic that was off the docket. I mean, some people are like, oh God, oh my God, gay wedding cake, all that shit. But it was off the talking issues. It was now just a thing, and the world moved on. So then the Democrats lost a talking point. And, as the Democrats have slowly lost, being the workers, the working man's party, they became the tech party and the college elite, whether you're actually realistically educated or not, they became the party of pretty much a couple issues. Like, their main issue is grievance politics, which is like, oh my God, are you brown or black? Oh, Whitey did it to you. Oh my God, America bad. We need to rebuild the whole, like that. This is what they've got, and abortion. So what you have to put in perspective is every time the Democrats use this political capital, They use their capital up. Here's what happens. They basically have spent that ammo. I think Trump played them into shooting their load on the Epstein thing. I think he was trying to get them just to all get behind it. That way, when it gets released, they can't talk about it in the midterms. They're like, oh shit, it got released. Fuck, what are we going to talk about now? I mean, and not to mention, they wanted to use, notice this happened right after they got shellacked in the voting to get the government going again, even if it's only for a couple months, because God forbid America ever actually work, have a long-term plan. So what basically ends up happening is that they spent their load on that fucking Epstein thing, and now it's like, okay, they're releasing the files. Now, assuming that Trump doesn't veto it, but I really doubt he will. And if he does, he's a fucking moron. Because it'll make him look incriminated. And by the way, I've said this before, I don't care if it's Republicans or Democrats or princes or whatever, like billionaires in the files, fuck them. They committed a crime, charge them with the crime. But I mean, let's be honest with some of these people that are so goddamn powerful. Fuck. You kidding me? Those people have so much incredible power. They'd be like, yeah, see ya. I'm immune from this by just leaving the country. But what I'm getting at with this is that this is one of the problems the Democrats have. When the Democrats need to be the party of basically the economy, jobs, and like back when they were the Union Party, but they're not the Union Party anymore. They only give lip service to it while they are more than happy to do a ton of business with China. Like the tariffs have actually turned out pretty well. A lot of countries are coming back to us and saying, yeah, we're going to build a factory here because we don't want to pay that tariff. We're going to build this factory, this assembly plant. They might produce part of the car over in another country, but they want to have it assembled over here to avoid the tariff. And then like recently, the Saudis, over the next number of years, over $1 trillion of investment in America. Now, look, you could think whatever you want about the Saudis, but $1 trillion investment is a lot of goddamn money. So the Democrats just don't have anything to run on. And look, whether you believe they stole the election or not, you had the country for 4 years and you didn't do shit. So we're looking at a comparison. Okay, so early Trump, before the Wuhan virus happened, things were going gangbusters. You had, everything was going along, chugging along, and then poof, oops, we had the virus, which was cooked up in a lab. Which, you remember back when they used to say, oh my God, you're just a crazy conspiracy theorist for pointing out it was probably cooked up in a lab. You're China-phobic. No, it was cooked up in a lab. They cooked up a disease in a lab to destroy the economy. Fuck, you remember that clip that Bill Maher said ages ago? Well, we got to destroy the economy if you want to get this guy out of office. Oh, wow. I wonder if that did it. You look at all the shit, and I think more and more people, once they get past this whole like, oh my God, scary racism, fascism, like that's all bullshit. Those are just like, it's like they use words like magic spells. They're not using it. Like when you cast a spell on an RPG, you're not concerned with what type of element it is. You're just concerned with whether it does the most damage. That is the problem with the Democrats. Instead of actually trying to build something up, build something better for America, they are literally just using whatever magic spell they can come up with to try to destroy their enemies. Like, oh my God, you're a racist, you're this. And by the way, maybe if you hadn't focused on, trans identity politics for the last number of years, like, don't get me wrong, if you're trans, be trans, cool, whatever. You want to, live your life, do whatever. But trying to trans people's kids, doesn't that seem a little fucking creepy? And do you remember back during the Obama administration? When they had that gay choir that came out and we're coming after your kids. Y'all remember that? They basically telegraph. They pretty much show you. It's just like with movies when they show you the plot of what the scene's going to be in America. It's prepping you for what they're going to do. And then we have the trans athletes in sports. I'm sorry, but let's be real about it. You got like stronger muscle fiber, stronger this, and you're caving a woman's skull in. I mean, let's be real about it. Let's say the women's the world champion women's soccer team versus a bunch of high school like 15-year-old or younger boys, and the boys just schooled them. Everybody knows that the trans issue is a bad issue. I don't know if there was I don't know if they all got together, like the right and the left got together, because sometimes to me, the whole right and the left narrative, because by the way, I'm a laid back libertarian. I'm all for lots of personal freedom, do whatever you want, let your free flag fly. But hey, just keep the taxes low and the government small, But I sometimes look at this right-left dynamic, and it reminds me of like some shit from the Venture Brothers. Like you got who's the Legion of Doom this time? Like it's like they do a teeter-totter. Okay, you're the Legion of Doom this time. Okay, I guess we're the bad guys. Like under Bush, Democrats looked pretty good because the 20-year war, which I don't think that did it take 20 years to replace the Taliban with the Taliban? I don't think so. I literally think that's the military-industrial complex getting rich. But then again, wasn't it the Democrats? Oh, Legion of Doom now, or what was it called? Was it the Legion of Doom? What the hell do they call the Venture Brother version of that? The Guild of Calamitous Intent. I think that's what it was. They're like, okay, well, let's make student loans a thing that'll cripple people for years. Let's not make, education. Let's not fight for education from home that you could do for practically nothing. Well, let's make everything more expensive. And then, of course, instead of encouraging more people to become plumbers, electricians, all those trades people you used to care about, Democrats. And by the way, Republicans, oh, nothing's good enough for my little girl or my son. Oh, let's send you to college. The same college that Rush Limbaugh told you was basically full of leftist bullshit. Let's send them to college because my kids are smarter than that. Both of these parties, in my opinion, are shit. Okay? But right now, given the choice of it's like we don't even get good choices in America. If I'm to be honest about this, the two-party system is like choosing which previous used version of toilet paper you need to choose from. Which one has less shit on it? And I say, as a laid-back libertarian, I would prefer to use a bidet and just, something I could just wash off really easily. I don't want to be involved in your pre-used toilet paper political system. But these Democrats, I tell you this, they have screwed the pooch. They took Trump's bait. I really do think that he basically said, hey, hold back the Epstein stuff so they'll start talking about it, and it'll be the only fucking thing they talk about. That way, when it comes to release time, they'll be clamoring for it. They'll be, chomping at the bit. Come on, release the files. And then it's like, okay, let's release the files. Oh shit, you're going to release them? And it turns out I'm hearing, and I don't know if I believe it or not, because just like they make a bunch of fake emails about Trump, I suppose what I've heard about Hakeem Jeffries and getting money from, Jeffrey Epstein, I don't know if that's true or not, all these different connections, and it's like, maybe it is, maybe it's not. I take everything that comes out of our government with a giant, I don't say grain of salt, basically, you go to the Dollar Tree and you buy one of those things of coarse salt, the big one, you're like, yeah, that much, and this ain't a grain. I'm like, okay, it's the politicians doing this. But yeah, they basically, if they had just focused on the economy and building a better society, and hey, here's a wild thought. This might surprise you. There's probably a lot of Democrats that don't like government waste. They like helping people. They might want to help their fellow man, but somebody who's got some dead relative and they're still collecting EBT or benefits or all this other crap. I mean, imagine if there was some dead person. I imagine if you look hard enough, I bet there's some dead people in Section 8. And their families are probably renting out their apartments. Oh yeah, nobody knows he's dead yet. Yeah. Or like they just keep on getting the benefits. And what I'm getting at with this is that most sensible people, Democrat or Republican, they don't want to see waste on the government. They don't want to give a bunch of benefits to a bunch of people who showed up yesterday, a bunch of illegals. I mean, look, like I've said before, I was at the food bank the other day. And somebody showed up, I'm like, what, a $35,000 to $40,000 SUV. And they couldn't speak one word English. And no offense, I mean, like, you speak some sort of Latino, I don't know, like Mexican or, Guatemalan, whatever. I know it's all Spanish, but you all got your own kind of way of speaking it. Why the fuck aren't you in your country? Why are you at our food banks? Why are you on our EBT? And why do you have a car that's better than most of the people that work at the food banks? Eh? Does that occur to anybody? I think if the Democrats focused on more issues that actually would improve the day-to-day thing, instead of just trying to bribe people with votes, if they seemed like we want to create jobs, we want to build something, and by the way, and this is what the crushing thing is about it for the Democrats. Whether you think they stole the election or not in 2020, doesn't matter at this point. You had that administration for 4 years. And when you could have done incredible things, you could have done all the tariffs, you could have done all the adjustments, you could have brought all these other countries to the table and held their feet to the fire, you didn't do shit. Now you got a situation where whether you like the Cheeto and master himself or not, whether you think he's a braggadocious asshole, I don't care. Somebody winged a few bullets at him a couple times assassination attempts, and guess what? He's like, fuck it. I don't get to run for another administration unless the Supreme Court does some weird shit. But realistically, This is his last administration, and I'm betting he's like, get pedal to the floor. Let's just do it all. And if he dies on the way through there, at least he's all balls. Now understand, everything that Trump's doing, if you really look at it, if you go back in time, is traditional Democrat. Oh, no, it's not. Go back to Kennedy. Kennedy wasn't about you being a fucking freeloader on the system. Kennedy was about jobs for Americans. You go back and you look at the original Democrat policies, and it's surprising how much they're just like Trump's policies. They were pro-American, they were pro-capitalism, they're pro the people. And yes, he was all about helping people that are actually downtrodden. But when you see some EBT, Walmart, Americans coming to the store, they're like, "Where's my food?" And they weigh more than the people working there. Like, they're like, "Feed me!" And it's like, you see people that are literally getting thousands of dollars on EBT talking about they're starving. You know? That wasn't what the original Democrat Party was about. But now you are a party of grievance parties. Yeah, it's just about, oh man, somebody hurt you, somebody offended you. Oh. That's why you're losing. Because the actual working class party that's Democrat, Republican, whatever, cannot identify with you. The Zoomers that are having a hard time finding a job, can't afford rent, can't afford food, can't afford a lifestyle that's even worth going to work for. Surprise! They might be just a little unhappy with you. So I think Trump really did play the Democrats with this Epstein situation, because you guys were so gung-ho that you didn't think you thought the Republicans were going to back off, but the Republicans were like, fuck it, all balls, let's all in there. So what ends up happening is now the Democrats don't have that load. They don't have that ammunition. They don't have that load to blow out on the American public during the midterms. And now all you got as Democrats to run on is what? Abortion and grievance politics that everybody's fucking sick of. Everybody. And once again, like I said, I swear I talk about real things. If you're letting your kids watch my channel, you're a shitty parent. But straight up, man, this is where we're at. And I'm interested what fabricated next nonsense thing will come up with the Democrats. You know, as soon as you fix one problem, they're like, oh, but look at this. Oh, we're offended by that. And by the way, maybe we'll talk another time about that Zangani guy out of New York. I'm actually happy they elected a socialist, elected a communist. And people are like, well, why? Because I want people to see how bad it can get. As if we haven't had enough examples with that city and Chicago and all these other places. And by the way, side note, I heard another woman who got stabbed in Chicago, and I heard another woman got set on fire. How many women do we have to have murdered or set on fire before we finally admit these blue cities are trash? And it shouldn't be that way. This isn't what the Democrat Party was back when Kennedy ran it. Anyhow, Freedom Phil, like, subscribe. Y'all take it easy. Peace.